Assalamualaikum. My name is Siti Nurhidayah binti Salihuddin. My metric number is S60695 and my supervisor is Dr. Hajah Yuari Faradia. I'm going to present about my final year project about a study of service quality towards consumer loyalty of Grab user, a case study of student in Malaysia and Indonesia. For introduction, Grab is an innovative taxi service that combines electronic hailing with the benefits of shared vehicle ownership. Within the context of the shared economy, Grab was a huge hit. The term shared economy emerged during the periods roughly during 2018 to 2010 with a gaining widespread acceptance. Grab is an app for smartphone that allows users to hail taxis. It's made its debuts in Malaysia in 2012 in Malaysia and 2014 in Indonesia. This app will take the passenger where they need to go using GPS or Google Maps. The app service could be evaluated based on customer feedback. The number of the cities that Grab operates in across Singapore, Indonesia, the Philippines, Thailand and Vietnam is now up to 26. Tan Chong Motor was founded in 1981 by Tan Sri Yan Phuet Pho, whose younger grandson, Anthony, created Grab in 2011. Anthony Tan, a student at Harvard University, heard about the challenge people face when trying to hail a taxi in Malaysia. So, he came up with a concept for an app similar to Uber taxi booking service. The investor took notice of him after hearing his pitch at 2011 Harvard Business Plan competition. The taxi service, originally called My Taxi when its debuted in 2012, was rebranded as Grab Taxi and finally Grab. Grab is the most popular ride-hailing apps in Southern Asia with service in more than 30 cities. By fact, university students are among the most frequent users of this Grab application. The first problem statement is on the issue of student satisfaction with Grab service, such as driver lacks of empathy and the client waiting too long for the Grab driver. Other issues with Grab loyalty may lead to students using alternatives such as Gojek for Indonesia student and also Maxim for Malaysian student if they are dissatisfied. Following the research question and also objective. As is common knowledge, research objectives are explicit statement of what you hope to accomplish through your research. Therefore, the first research question, what is the impact of the service quality on consumer satisfaction, is answered by the first objective, which is to investigate the impact of service quality on consumer satisfaction. The objective which is to examine the impact of the service quality on consumer loyalty, which answered the second research question, which is what if the impact of the service quality on consumer loyalty. What if the impact of the consumer satisfactions on consumer loyalty is examined is the third research question. The objective are to examine the impact of the consumer satisfaction on consumer loyalty. What if the objective which are to examine the mediating role of consumer satisfaction on the relationship between service quality and consumer loyalty, answered by the fourth research question concerning the mediation roles of consumer satisfaction on the relationship between service quality and also consumer loyalty. The significance of this study is to establish whether and how consumer satisfaction influence the formation of the consumer loyalty and subsequent repurchase intent. Researchers can use the result of this meta-analysis to evaluate the hypothesis and strength and direction of the relationship between consumer satisfaction and brand loyalty. Consequently, this study was to determine whether or not there was a correlation between Grab service quality and student loyalty in Malaysia and Indonesia. Service quality is essential in a variety of service contexts around the globe. All business, but particularly taxi booking application with service relies on establishing and retaining consumer loyalty. In this regard, consumer loyalty depends heavily on the quality of the service offered. As a result, business frequently invest time and resource in maintaining client relationship and preserving quality to ensure that the client initially loyal for a brief periods of time will remain loyal for the long term. Consumer satisfaction and loyalty are essential to a company's continued success. In today's rapidly changing market, service quality has become a crucial metric for measuring company performance. Subsequently, it is widely acknowledged that focusing on service quality is essential for expanding a company consumer base and retaining existing consumer. The analysis of service quality influenced the development of the concept of consumer loyalty. In fact, service quality is one of the most frequently analyzed consumer loyalty factors. This indicates that service quality can contribute to the expansion of the concept of consumer loyalty. It was believed that both tangible and also intangible aspects of service quality were crucial in determining whether a consumer trusted an organization or viewed it favorably. It has been established that service quality play an important role in determining a client level of satisfaction. Subsequently, service quality influence consumer loyalty. It is possible to argue that inconsistently in determining the relationship between service quality and consumer loyalty is one of the limitations of study on service quality. According to the finding of a number of studies, the level of service quality ultimately determine consumer satisfaction, which impact customer loyalty. By fact, service quality can be measured by 5 dimensions, which is responsiveness, assurance, tangibles, empathy, and also, last but not least, reliability. Client satisfaction is essential for establishing market credibility and retaining repeating business. However, the impact of the service quality on consumer loyalty has received scant attention in the previous research. There was several shortage of relevant studies, and the majority of the previous study focused on the relationship between service quality and also consumer satisfaction as opposed to the relationship between service quality and consumer loyalty. The study aimed to determine if there was a relationship between the quality of the service provided by the Grab and student loyalty in Malaysia and Indonesia. Consumer loyalty is the commitment to repeatedly repurchase or patronize a selected product or service in the future, regardless of the presence of situational effects and promotional strategy that have the potential to promote switching behavior. According to the previous description, consumer loyalty is a profound commitment made by consumer to resubscribe or return consistent selected product or service in the future, despite the fact that the situational and marketing activities have the potential to cause a change in the behavior. Because of their qualities, loyal customers are extremely valuable to a business. The behavior of this individual demonstrates this. The measurement is if consumer loyalty are followed, which is I prefer to use the Grab service because I'm satisfied and acquainted with their service. I will use this Grab service in spite of competitor deals, and I would suggest this Grab service to others. The vitality and long-term survival of an organization can be determined by measuring consumer satisfaction, which also has a variety of positive effects on business, such as increased brand loyalty, decreased turnover, and also low advertising expenditures and enhanced brand positioning. This strategy will be successful if the organization is able to meet its consumer expectations, leading to the formation of the long-lasting, mutually beneficial partnership. Manager must be able to differentiate between the desirable and also undesirable product qualities, as the former typically results in consumer dissatisfaction and ultimately brand switching. Researchers have discovered that completely satisfied consumers are less likely to leave or switch brand. Consequently, customer satisfaction is a crucial factor in retaining satisfied consumers. However, not all consumer loyalty increase as the level of satisfaction increase. Consumers who are currently satisfied may decide to leave despite the lack of the simple or linear relationship between the satisfactory and also loyalty. According to studies, a consumer personal attachment to a brand is a significant factor in retaining consumer loyalty. It is possible for the consumer to be completely satisfied with their experience and the service they receive, as well as loyal, and yet choose not to purchase again. Therefore, the likelihood that consumer will make a repeat purchase is an essential factor for business to consider when attempting to maximize their profit. The measurement of the consumer satisfaction are as follows, which is I am satisfied with the transportation service of the Grab. The Grab transportation service are successful, and this Grab transportation service has fulfilled my requirement. Okay, this is the research framework for the current study. As you can see, the error between the service quality and also consumer satisfaction are creating the first hypothesis, while the error between consumer satisfaction and also consumer loyalty are creating the third and fourth hypothesis of the studies. Lastly, the error between service quality and also consumer loyalty are creating the second hypothesis for the study. The next part are research hypothesis. There were 4 hypotheses, which is the first one is service quality is positively insignificant affects consumer satisfaction. The second hypothesis is service quality has positively insignificant effects to consumer loyalty. Third hypothesis is consumer satisfaction is positively significant affect consumer loyalty. And last but not least, the fourth hypothesis is consumer satisfactions mediate service quality towards consumer loyalty. For methodology, this research population is focusing on students in Malaysia and also Indonesia. For data collection, we are using primary data and distributing the questionnaire via a Google form. For the sample and also sampling, this data would require 200 respondents for the sample size and use convenient sampling and purpose site sampling. The respondent also required to use Grab minimum 2 times in order to answer the questionnaire. This data would be analyzed using the SPSS26 to identify the result, which is descriptive analysis and also hypothesis testing. Besides that, the other tools which we are using are the meditation testing based on Sobel test. Unit analysis for this study is individual student. Okay, in conclusion, this purpose study is primarily an examination of the relationship between service quality and also consumer loyalty of student Grab user in Malaysia and Indonesia by having consumer satisfaction as the mediator. Through this study, the Grab company can enhance their consumer experience by gaining a better understanding of what motivates their consumer loyalty. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.